Can I get a roll call, please?
Mrs. Craig?
Here.
Mr. Hayden? Mr. Giuliano?
Here.
Mr. Nuss?
Here.
Mrs. Ranzan?
Here.
Mrs. Steele?
Here.
Mrs. Stoll? Mrs. Whitty?
Here.
Mr. D'Agostino?
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, would you please join me in the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of the Act, the Sussex-Wantage Regional School District Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted in the school building and notice of said meeting sent to the New Jersey Herald and the Star Ledger.
Mr. D'Agostino, I don't have that in front of me. I thought it was in my packet and it's not the rest of it. Could you read it for me?
Sure. The Sussex-Wantage Regional School District is a responsive, caring, child-centered community. Our mission is to educate each individual to become a confident, competent, lifelong learner and productive, responsible citizen by providing challenging opportunities and a safe environment through a partnership of families, schools, and communities.
Thank you for that.
That is a tongue twister, Mrs. Ranzan. I give you credit for reading that.
I have it right here. I just wanted you to do it for me.
At this point, we'll move on to the report of the superintendent of schools. As you can see, Mr. Gall was not able to join us this evening. He had an unfortunate death in his family. So our love is with him, our thoughts are with him, and our prayers are with him and his family through this difficult time. And we miss you, Mike, and we're here for you. But Mrs. Riker is going to fill in for the report, please.
Yes, thank you, Nick. The only thing that we have is Mr. Schwartz is going to present the May and June 2020 Sussex Middle School Students of the Month. So, Mr. Schwartz?
Thank you. Just bear with me and I will bring it up. All right, can everybody see?
Yes.
All right. So good evening, Mr. D'Agostino, members of our Board of Education and in our audience tonight. While our circumstances are quite different as we concluded our school year, our students continued to go above and beyond each and every day. Before I begin tonight, I would like to acknowledge the hard work and determination of all of our students during these past few months. When speaking with our teachers and students, there is no doubt in everyone's mind that we needed to continue to highlight our students of the month. Please know that up until the very last day of school, teachers continued to share how proud they were of their students, many indicating that they would like to nominate more than just one student of the month. Tonight, I will recognize 2 students from each grade level as the May and June students of the month. The 6th grade student of the month for May is Brianna Camuves. Her teachers were very impressed with her dedication and hard work that she has put forth this year, especially during the time of remote learning. She is described as a determined sunshine. While she is quiet at heart, she knows how to use her voice when she feels passionate about a subject or topic. She speaks up and has a very, very precise moral compass. The 6th grade team is delighted to honor Brianna with this well-deserved recognition for the month of May. Bree has brought her personality to remote learning and has truly shown in her participation in Google Meets and all of her work. Congratulations. And please join me in congratulating Brianna Camuves as the 6th grade student of the month for May.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. The 6th grade student of the month for the month of June is Addison Cabrera. The 6th grade team had the following to say about Addison. Addison has been a stellar student throughout her entire 6th grade year. She is a respectful and responsible young lady known for her creativity. Addie is a role model for many of her peers and is always eager to assist her fellow classmates. When faced with the challenge of remote learning, her resolve never wavered. She has finished the school year stronger than ever, and it has been an absolute pleasure to have taught her. Please join me in congratulating Addison Cabrera as the June Student of the Month for 6th grade.
Congratulations. Do you have a different slide, Mr. Schwartz?
I apologize. There's
No
Addie.
problem. Congratulations, Addie.
All right. I apologize, Addison. All right. And moving on to 7th grade. The 7th grade Student of the Month for May is Kyle Lebansky. All year, Kyle has proven to be a very hard worker. Kyle has high expectations for himself that is reflected in all of his work. Some students are satisfied with just completing a task. Kyle, on the other hand, is only satisfied when it is done to the best of his ability. In class, the teachers are always aware of Kyle's thoughts and opinions. He is an active participant who contributes insightful perspectives in math class as well as all of his other classes. Kyle is always looking for an alternate method to solve complex problems. Despite the challenges of remote learning, Kyle continued to excel academically. He was determined to produce high-quality work regardless of the school setting. All of Kyle's teachers were very impressed with his work ethic and his ability to maintain a high standard despite the difficult circumstances. Please join me in congratulating Kyle Lebansky as the 7th grade Student of the Month for the month of May.
Congratulations.
The 7th grade Student of the Month for June is Leah Griffiths. Leah is a wonderful young lady that teachers love to have in class. She is a hardworking student who wants to do well in all of her subjects. Leah asks questions, takes time with her assignments, and even when an assignment challenges her, she's determined to be successful. In addition to being a good student, Leah is very kind and friendly. She is respectful and caring to both her classmates and teachers. She's one of those students who is willing to work with all of her peers and make others feel comfortable when they are around her. During remote learning, Leah has been outstanding. She has kept in contact with her teachers by continuing to ask questions so that her work is done correctly. Leah has made her teachers very proud, and they all thank her for her incredible work. Congratulations, Leah Griffiths, as the 7th grade Student of the Month for the month of June.
Congratulations, Leah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
The 8th grade student for the month of May is Massimino Maggiorino. Massimo is a young man with a good heart. He always asks how you are and how you are doing, whether he sees you in the classroom or through his computer at home. Massimo has really shown growth for all of his teachers throughout the year, especially through distance learning. He has not only kept up on completing his assignments, but completing them to the best of his ability and truly showing great effort. His independence level has shown growth and maturity throughout the year, as well as his confidence in himself and his abilities. We congratulate Massimino Maggiorino as the 8th grade Student of the Month for the month of May.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And finally, the 8th grade Student of the Month for June is Alexis Van Orden. The 8th grade team stated the following: Alexis has been absolutely rocking distance learning, expertly balancing family and school responsibilities. She is a young lady with a lot on her shoulders between family and friendships, but she handles her problems in a direct, expedient manner. She is an outstanding young lady ready to take on all that high school will bring her way. As we say goodbye to both of these 8th graders, I can say that they have made a tremendous impact on their teachers and peers along the way. We wish them nothing but success as they move into high school and look forward to seeing all that they will achieve. Congratulations, Alexis and Massimo, and good luck in high school.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
All right.
All right.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Schwartz.
Thank
And
you,
Mr.
Mr.
Schwartz, while you're
Schwartz.
here, thank you for a great virtual graduation that yourself and Mrs. Stemelakis and Mr. Kronsky and a whole host of people worked on. I know it was very enjoyable and captured the spirit of the district, I believe. So thank you for that.
You're quite welcome. Yeah, it was a true team effort, and I was proud of all of our efforts. And it was a great celebration for our 8th graders. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, at this time, we will move on to audience remarks. Members of the audience are invited to make brief comments about items on this agenda and matters of interest to the district. Mrs. Riker, do we have any audience remarks?
No, I just checked. We don't have any at this time.
Okay, and I'll remind the public at this time then, if you have an audience remark that you would like to be read at the end of the meeting, please email BOE2020@swregional.org. At this time, we'll move on to the board secretary certification, please.
Thank you. Pursuant to NJAC 6A 23A-16.10C3, I certify that as of May 31st, 2020, no line item account has encumbrances and expenditures which in total exceed the line item appropriation in violation of NJAC 6A 23A-16.10A.
Thank you. At this time, we will move on to the approval of board minutes for May 13th, 2020, regular and executive session. Looking for a motion, please.
Motion.
Thank you. Looking for a second.
I'll second.
Thank you. And roll call.
Can I just know who first and seconded?
It was a tie, I believe, so who wants to take credit for
I'll take it.
it?
Okay, and who's second?
Me, Ross.
Okay,
Mr.
thank you.
Giuliano.
It's so hard to, especially when you're on the phone, it's hard for me to see.
You want us to say like our last names, just so it's easier?
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
When a motion is made and when a second is made, sure. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Great. All right, so if we could do roll call, please.
Mrs. Ranzan?
Yes.
Mr. Giuliano?
Yes.
Mrs. Craig?
Yes.
Mr. Hayden?
Yes.
Mr. Nuss?
Yes.
Mrs. Steele?
Yes.
Mrs. Stahl? Mrs. Stahl?
I don't believe she's in the meeting.
Oh, I thought she was. I thought she came in. Maybe she dropped off.
Let's see.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
She's here, Mrs. Stoll. Star, you gotta hit
All
star.
right, you muted. Star 6, please, Mrs. Stoll, to unmute yourself. There we go.
Mrs. Stahl?
Mrs. Stahl, can you hear us? She's unmuted. I'm not sure.
Me?
Mrs. Stahl?
Can
There
you
we go.
hear me?
Yes, we
Yes.
can hear you now.
Okay, I have
You abstain?
from the minutes, yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure that's what you said. Mrs. Whitty?
Yes.
Mr. D'Agostino?
Yes.
Minutes are approved.
All right, we have no need for executive session on agenda items, so we will move on to the presentation of agenda items.
Okay. So under personnel, items 1 through 17, and we're administratively pulling item number 11 for some further documentation and then discussion with the board attorney. So it's going to be 1 through 17 with the exception of item 11, which is being pulled.
All right, and personnel, looking for a motion, please.
I'll make the
I'll make a
motion.
motion.
Nuss.
Second it.
All right, Mr. Nuss made a motion, and Mrs. Craig, you seconded, is that correct?
Yeah, I second
This is
it.
Mrs. Steele.
Oh,
Right?
okay, with Mrs. Steele, okay. It's hard to hear. Somebody's mic is loud, but okay, so do you have that, Mrs. Riker?
I do.
Okay, great. Any discussion on personnel 1 through 17, excluding number 11? All right, roll call, please.
Mr. Nuss.
Yes.
Mrs. Steele.
Yes.
Mrs. Craig,
Yes.
Mr. Hayden,
Mr. Hyden,
Mr.
you're on mute.
Mr. Hayden?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Giuliano,
Yes.
Mrs. Ranzan,
Yes.
Mrs. Stahl,
Yes.
Mrs. Whitty,
Yes to all except no for number 6. And I'm going to abstain on 4 and 5.
Mr. DiAgostino.
Yes.
Motion carries. Okay, for policy, we have items 1 and 2.
All right, I'm looking for a motion for policy items 1 and 2.
Yeah.
please.
Ranzan will motion.
Thank you, Mrs.
Thank you.
Ranzan.
Second.
Mr. Nuss with a second. Thank you, Mr. Nuss. And any discussion on numbers 1 and 2 in policy? All right, roll call, please.
Mrs. Ranzan,
Yes.
Mr. Nuss,
Yes.
Mrs. Craig,
Yes.
Mr. Hayden,
Yes.
Mr. Giuliano,
Yes.
Mrs. Steele,
Yes.
Mrs. Stahl,
Yes.
Mrs. Whitty,
Yes.
Mr. DiAgostino.
Yes.
Motion carries. Okay, on finance, items 1 through 66.
All right, finance, numbers 1 through 66, looking for a motion, please.
Craig will make a motion.
Thank you,
Nuss will
Mrs.
second
Craig.
it.
Thank you, Mr. Nuss.
Okay.
Any discussion on finance?
Just on the brain pop on number 48, that's K through 5, but we use that for K through 8 also, don't we?
I don't know the answer to that. I just was given that, that came over from curriculum.
Right.
So, we could note that if it's used for K to 8, it's for K to 8, but it's really more for the approval process.
I mean, it's not like an extra charge for that, right? It's
No,
quite-
I don't think that the middle school really uses it. It's
they,
more for elementary.
they use it a lot in the middle school, but it's probably just the standard charge anyway, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, this is the amount for the subscription that we currently have.
So it probably doesn't one way or the other. Okay.
For the whole district. All right. Thank you, Mrs. Woody. Are there any other questions, comments on finance? All right, roll call, please.
Mrs. Craig,
Yes.
Mr. Nuss,
Yes.
Mr. Hayden,
Yes.
Mr. Giuliano,
Yes.
Mrs. Ranzan,
Yes.
Mrs. Steele,
Yes.
Mrs. Stahl,
Yes.
Mrs. Whitty,
Yes to all, no to number 27.
Mr. DiAgostino.
Yes.
Motion carries. Okay. Under appointments, items 1A through J.
All right, looking for a motion on appointments, please.
Steele will motion.
Thank you, Mrs. Steele. Looking for a second.
Stahl second.
Thank you, Mrs. Stahl. Any discussion on appointments? All right, roll call, please.
Mrs. Steele?
Yeah.
Mrs. Stahl?
Yes.
Mrs. Craig?
Yes.
Mr. Hayden?
Yes.
Mr. Giuliano?
Yes.
Mr. Nuss?
Yes.
Mrs. Ranzan?
Yes.
Mrs. Whitty?
Yes.
Mr. DiAgostino?
Yes.
Motion carries. Okay, under designations, items 1A through G.
We're looking for a motion on designations, please.
Ransan will motion.
Thank you, Mrs. Ranzan. Looking for,
I'll second Craig.
thank you, Mrs. Craig. And discussion. All right, roll call, please.
Mrs. Ranzan,
Yes.
Mrs. Craig,
Yes.
Mr. Hayden,
Yes.
Mr. Giuliano,
Yes.
Mr. Nuss,
Yes.
Mrs. Steele,
Yes.
Mrs. Stoll,
Yes.
Mrs. Whitty,
Yes.
and Mr. DiAgostino.
Yes.
Motion carries. Under other approvals, items 1A through M.
We're looking for a motion on other approvals, please.
Nuss will make the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Nuss. Looking for a second.
Steele will second.
Thank you, Mrs. Steele. Discussion. All right, roll call, please.
Mr. Nuss.
Yes.
Mrs. Steele.
Yes.
Mrs. Craig.
Yes.
Mr. Hayden.
Yes.
Mr. Giuliano.
Yes.
Ms. Ranzan.
Yes.
Mrs. Stoll.
Yes.
Mrs. Whitty.
Yes.
Mr. DiAgostino.
Yes.
Motion carries. And under adoptions, items number 1A through D.
All right, looking for a motion for adoptions, please.
Craig will make a motion.
Thank you, Mrs. Craig. Looking for a second.
Stoll second.
Thank you, Mrs. Stahl. And discussion. All right, roll call, please.
Mrs. Craig.
Yes.
Mrs. Stoll.
Yes.
Mr. Hayden.
Yes.
Mr. Giuliano.
Yes.
Mr. Nuss.
Yes.
Ms. Ranzan.
Yes.
Mrs. Steele.
Yes.
Mrs. Whitty.
Yes.
Mr. DiAgostino.
Yes.
Motion carries. Under special services, items number 1 and 2.
Looking for a motion, please, for special services.
Nuss will make a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Nuss. Looking for a second.
Ransan will second.
Thank you, Mrs. Ranzan. Discussion on special services. All right, roll call, please.
Mr. Nuss.
Yes.
Ms. Ranzan.
Yes.
Mrs. Craig.
Yes.
Mr. Hayden.
Yes.
Mr. Giuliano.
Yes.
Mrs. Steele.
Yes.
Mrs. Stoll.
Yes.
Mrs. Whitty.
I'm going to abstain.
Okay. Mr. DiAgostino.
Yes.
Motion carries. And under curriculum, item number 1.
We're looking for a motion. Thank you, is that Mrs. Craig? Thank you. Looking for a second. Thank you, Mr. Nuss. Discussion on curriculum.
No, just 1 second.
Sure.
I'm gonna mute it. Can I possibly change that to a yes on the last one?
On special services?
Yeah, special services, yes.
Yes, that's fine. I'll go back and make that note.
All right, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Thank you. Any discussion on curriculum number 1? All right, I just want to point out this is when the 8th graders will do their diploma function with pictures and stuff at the school, July 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. So any parents curious about dates, this is what the board is approving for dates for that purpose. That being said, roll call, please.
Mrs. Craig.
Yes.
Mr. Nuss.
Yes.
Mr. Hayden.
I'll abstain. I don't know the particulars. or what's going to be the requirements for safe distancing. So I abstain.
Okay, Mr. Giuliano,
Yes.
Ms. Ranzan,
Yes.
Mrs. Steele,
Yeah.
Mrs. Stahl,
Yes.
Mrs. Whitty,
I abstain.
Mr. D'Agostino.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right. At this time, we will move on to unfinished business. Does anybody on the board have any unfinished business you would like to discuss? All right. Seeing none, we'll move on to new business. Does anyone on the board have any new business that you would like to discuss? All right, seeing none, we will move on to audience remarks. Again, members of the audience are invited to make brief comments about items of interest to the district. Are there any audience remarks, Mr. Stricker?
No, Mr. D'Agostino, no audience remarks.
All right, so without a need for executive session, we will move on and look for a motion to adjourn, please.
All
Motion.
motion.
Ranzan will motion.
All right, Mrs. Randan, thank you. Mr. Nuss seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you, guys. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night,
Good
thank
night,
you.
everybody.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.